a servant for the people. I remember that in 1994-95 he said one of his speech. So when this association we have formed, the executive are all 100% Gambians, and they are committed, and they all agree and accept the plan that the President Dem has laid for the Gambian people. So I think that is the secret behind, as long as the committee is being committed, the executive committee has been committed to the whole nation, and also committed to our leader, definitely I think we will achieve.
They left the country to represent the Gambia at the London Paralympics. BBC's Peter Okoche spoke to the Gambian Paralympics about the challenges they face in the country in their bid to actualize their Paralympics dream.
Well, I feel great because this is the first time for the Gambian disabled to go and participate outside country. I feel very happy to raise our flag.
Demba, welcome to London. You are in London for the first time for these Paralympic Games. How do you feel?
I'm feeling nice.
And what event are you taking part in?
100 and 200.
And what are your chances?
I'm seeing now to feel get of the medal, gold, 10.
So you think you can win?
Inshallah.
Fantastic. Congratulations and welcome again. Let's talk to Suleiman now. Suleiman, I mean, what was training like back home in Gambia?
Well, because back home in the Gambia, we only have one national stadium, which at the moment is under reconstruction because the tracks are really not good at all. The athletes usually go out on the stretch to use the highways to do their training.
They train on the highways
as well, yeah.
That must be very dangerous.
Yeah, it is, but we have no choice.
But we just heard from Demba that he says he can win gold. Are you expecting any medals?
Well, we are expecting that because back at the qualification when we were in Tunisia, we took an old chair. I can tell you an old chair of, let's say, over 50 years ago, what they used to use for the Paralympics. You know, that's what he uses in Tunisia, and that he was able to win bronze medal.
Well, every year, hundreds of thousands of people come to the United Kingdom on student visas, but they will no longer be able to attend one university in London because it's been banned from having them. An inquiry by the United Kingdom Border Agency found that some students at the London Metropolitan University had no right to be in the country, whilst the university don't know whether others are turning up for causes. Here is the story.
Anxious times at London Metropolitan University. More than 2,000 students have just learned that they risk being deported within 60 days unless they can find a university place elsewhere. Among them, Emmanuel Egwu, who says he spent £40,000 on his education here so far.
It's outrageous. I'm totally disturbed. I'm worried. My parents are worried. I've been in this university since 2009. My parents spend a lot of money paying tuition fee for me and accommodation and my living expenses. They sell my properties back home to make sure that they take care of me here, and this is happening to me. I mean, how do you expect me to feel?
So how's the university ended up in this situation? Well, the government's committed to reducing immigration, but it has very few mechanisms at its disposal to do that. So it's focusing on foreign students, more specifically bogus students, those who are here not to study, but to get a visa.
International.
As university administrators took calls from bewildered students, the Home Office claimed more than a quarter of students sampled at the university had no leave to remain. There was evidence of inadequate levels of English, and the university didn't know if half of them were turning up for lectures.
The problems at London Metropolitan were so serious that it couldn't be allowed to continue. The public demands, quite rightly, proper immigration controls, and enforcing the immigration rules is important for universities just as it is for employers.
London Metropolitan says it will challenge the government's decision.
We would be horrified if we thought it could be sustained that we were harbouring illegal immigrants under the guise of being students. So we're investigating all the accusations that have been made.
Students from the university gathered outside Downing Street to protest. A task force has been set up to help genuine students find places at other universities before the 60-day deadline expires. The clock is ticking. Matt Prodger, BBC News, North London.
It's not only about studying in Europe. Life is increasingly getting harder for many Africans living in the continent. Let's look at this perspective from Africans in Spain.
Well, my advice is I can't tell anybody not to come, but really we can send a message that the expectations that we have are not always fulfilled. It's difficult, especially with those who risk their lives in the waters and they lose their lives and the family lose a great part too. So our advice to them is right at this moment, my advice personally is I can't tell anybody not to come, but you have to think twice because we the ones here are passing information at home, talking to our brothers who have the aim of coming. It's difficult to speak on this agenda because normally when you talk, people say he is there, he is not coming. He's going and coming, he has his paper. Why is he not coming finally back home? But let me tell you, if you come right now, it's quite difficult to even get paper. I see people staying here for 5 good years now without document. And if you don't have paper, it's hard for you to work. And if you can't work, how can you survive?
I must say that it's not like this. I mean, it's not easy in these days. Unfortunately, it's not easy in these days to get a good job in Spain and to make money easily. The companies are reducing the employees, and also the companies are probably reducing the salaries. The labor law, the new labor law now allows the company to reduce the salaries because
there have been protests over the past few days.
Yes, there are some protests, and there will be more protests in the next months. The trades, the union trades, are going to make protests because they are not. They don't agree. They don't agree with it. Yes. But it's something that is coming from the UA. I mean, the UA, yes, they want Spain to, yes. So these measures are going to be more difficult for foreign people to get a job, because the conditions are going to be more difficult. Yes.
In recent times, many audacious terrorist attacks have been linked to the Nigerian militant group Boko Haram. As we hear in this report, the trend is indeed worrying.
Jos, central Nigeria, a usually peaceful, bustling commercial town, but no more, as the sight of military men on the streets is now more commonplace. The last few years have been bloody. The militant group Boko Haram, which has bombed churches, police stations and other buildings across northern Nigeria, has also targeted Plateau State, of which Jos is the capital. In December 2010, 40 people were killed in Christmas Eve bombings around Jos. In February 2012, a suicide bomber attacked a church in Jos, killing 2. A month later, in March, another suspected suicide bomber attacked a Catholic church, killing 10 people. And in June 2012, a suicide bomber attacked another church in Jos, wounding 50 people. The latest bombing triggered reprisal attacks against Muslims by Christian youths, in which at least 10 people were killed. Plateau State lies on the fault line between the mainly Muslim north and the predominantly Christian south. The bombings threaten to reignite a long-running ethno-religious conflict in the region, which has left thousands dead over the past decade. Stiff competition for resources has often fueled violent flare-ups between the indigenously mainly Christian population and the more recent settlers, the Hausa-speaking Muslims. Both sides have condemned the violence, which has left Jos a divided city, split between Christian and Muslim streets. These days, to stray into the wrong area is not something most people want to do. Bilkis Labaran, BBC News.
Well, that's Weekend Spectrum this weekend. Thanks for watching. Have a pleasant weekend. I am Mamadou Diallo.